Okay, welcome everyone again to Stock Market Insight for that's the week of 20, this Sunday to Friday. We'll,
Hey,
uh,
okay.
we will look at what happened last week. That could affect what will be happening next week. So for last week, this is the topic for today, but let's quickly go over last week and that is likely to affect next week before we start today's topic. So market insight for the week ahead. We're looking at the market cycle. So where we are and what is next. So for the market cycle on Friday, there was a report for CPI, that's inflation index. It came in less than expected. That's a good thing for next week. That is by Wednesday. We're expecting that the Fed Reserve will cut interest rate. That is a catalyst for the stock market. That is, we expect that the market will continue to rally, meaning move up as Fed continue to cut interest rate. And for people that are interested in buying a house too, your mortgage interest is expected to be going down. So, and another thing that will affect the market next week is that President Trump and China president or other prime minister, they will be meeting this week to conclude trade deal. So if that I mean if they are able to resolve their issue or their outcome come out great, that will be another catalyst for the stock market. And this week too, 5 for the Mark 7. That is Apple, Amazon. They will report on Thursday. Then Google, Facebook, and okay, one other. Those will be reporting on Wednesday. So whenever that's Microsoft, okay, Microsoft, Facebook, and Google. Whenever they report, their result usually move the market more than other because of the concentration of the S&P. That is those 7. They have a lot of weight on what happened to the S&P than all of that company. So those are the things that we are expecting to happen as we go into this week. That is, interest rate will be cut, or is expected to be cut on Wednesday. The trade deal between China and US is expected to be concluded, or they'll reach, no, they'll reach a place where, like, being able to give us a good guidance. And so next week, or when I say next, that's from today. If I'm gonna buy any of the Mark 7, I will still go with Amazon for now. For me, all other they look like they have overextended. They have rallied already. So I will still go with Amazon. So the week we go into, we expect that the Mark 7 will continue to move. But for me, there is uh there is a chance to make more profit in Amazon than others. So I will go with Amazon. And then we will just trade defensively on all other area. So that's the market. That's what's going on in the market today. And as in from today till Friday. So I don't know if anybody has a thought or a question about what's likely to happen this week. If not, then we'll go to today's topic. Any question or thought about things? I mean, what is happening? As in things that are likely to move the market for this week.
Hey, so I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, so looking at Amazon,
Yes.
what do you think? I mean, I know there's no Mr. No, I'm just, like
Mm.
general. Because for me, right, I usually feel like Amazon has reached that peak, and where do you where do you kind of see it going?
Okay, let me quickly show. All right, so based on the chart here, in April, now we're down to like 163. Then it moved up all the way to 241. I would say that's like the highest, 240. Now it traded down again to 211. So based on this chart, it started picking up again. So this is the 20-day, 50-day. So 20-day is still below 50-day. If a stock is uptrend, then the 20-day should be above 50, 50 should be above 200. But in this case, we only have 50 that is above 200. So my position here is that we will start with, as in based on this, probably they call this one corpus. No. But based on this chart, I'm expecting that it's gonna continue to go back until when it reaches this point, then there could be a resistance, or by Thursday, it's likely that it's gonna cross 240. Then from there, no, but that's my expectation. As in, this is when I started buying 213 at this point last week, but now it's 224. So my expectation is that it will continue to go. That's compared with all of that. Let's quickly look at Google then. If you still have as in if you still need the ask another question. Okay, so in the case of Google, okay, I jump in around the 160 somewhere here. I run it all the way to 230, 233 here. Now, so Google has already run. So in April, this is what happened. But this is the highest that Google had been before, like 207. But it already jumped and it's still up here. So I would rather buy Amazon that is like down here going up than Google. Google is already like overextended. It will continue to go. But to me, Amazon will be safer than this. Or I'm not sure if that answer your question. That's why I'm still staying with Amazon compared to all other Max 7. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So based on the chart, Amazon will be a better buy than all other Max 7. All right, if there's no other question, let's jump to today's topic. All right, so today we want to look at how to avoid being trapped in the market sentiment. The reason I came up with this is what happened last week. As in last week, there are three things that happened that I wanted to point out. That is, if we if we are going to continue to make profit in the stock market, we will need to avoid being trapped in the stock market sentiment. There are two things that move the market. Number one is fundamental. When I say fundamental, I'm talking about the income of the company, if they are continuing to grow their income. But the other aspect or the other thing that moves the market is sentiment. Sentiment meaning what people think or what people think about the company. So, but sometimes some companies don't have good fundamental, that is, they are not even making money yet. But because people are excited about them, the price will continue to go. So my take on that is if you get in on time, that may be good. But if the stock is already overextended before you jump in, you are likely to lose. That's what I mean by being trapped in the market sentiment. So how do we avoid being trapped in the market sentiment? So number one, I said don't buy overextended stock. I will give us an example of gold. So gold, this company, Gold Barrick, had good fundamental, that is, they are making good money. But last week, people started talking about gold going to 5,000. Gold was like 4,200 or 4,100 last week per hands. But people began to talk that it's going to 5,000. It's likely that it will still get there. But when the stock has already moved so high, if you jump in that time, you are likely to lose money. So within 2 days last week, it dropped by 15%. So let's say last week after we met, or let's say we encourage each other to buy gold. Then people jumped in. Then when you jumped in, now the stock dropped 15%. Unless you really, really believe that the rally will continue, then you can hold on to it. But it will be discouraging that you just we talk about gold going to 5,000 and you just jump in on Wednesday, then by Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, the gold dropped by 15%. But man, I already bought gold like 2 months ago. So the 15% doesn't really bother me because I already made 40% on gold. So gold going down by 15, then my average, as in I still have about 25 left. So I'm just saying that if it has gone, like the stock is overextended, then don't buy at that time, even though the company has good fundamental. I'm saying you should wait for consolidation before you jump back in if you have reason to believe that the stock will continue to rally. So let's look at the example of what I'm talking about here. So this is Barrick Mining. So I started buying around somewhere here, $17, $20, continue to buy all the way to this place. Now, so last week was October, no, somewhere here. So let's when we have meeting last week, which is around here, we talk about gold going to 5,000. No, people are excited, and you decided to buy up here, which is like $36. Then on Thursday, gold dropped it dropped by 10%. Then next day, it dropped by another 5. So from here to here was 15%. So what I'm saying is that even though this company has good fundamental, when you look at a chart like this is not a good time for you to buy. This thing is already overextended. Like this one is already reached the peak at this point. So it is a good idea for you to wait. Like this is consolidation here. But if it continue to move or is likely to continue, but at this point, this is like indecision. We're not sure what's gonna happen next. But what happened is that it dropped. So now, if you believe that this gold will continue to rise, then you may start jumping in from here. Usually, this is 20-day moving average, 50-day, 200. So we will say this stock is uptrend. That is, that's the meaning of this arrow. That it will continue to go up unless something else happen. But in this case, when it dropped to 50 days, usually, not always, but usually it's gonna bounce off this 50-day and go back to its 20 days. But if it drop below 50, usually it's likely to continue to drop. So I'm saying if you like the company, and you understand what is happening in the market, that gold is likely to continue to go up. You can wait till around this area before you start buying. But if you jump in when people are so excited that it's going to 5,000 like on this day and you buy here, you may be discouraged the 2 days that follow. That's what I remember being trapped by sentiment. So we shouldn't jump in when the market is already overextended. I mean, don't buy a stock at this point when you look at the chart. So usually I will look at the fundamental here. That is this what I mean by fundamental, how much they are making, if they are making profit. And this is forward earning, that is in the future, this company will be more profitable. And I will look at what the earning is likely to be according to analysis. So in the next year, they're expecting a 38% increase on average. The next 5 years, they are expecting of 34% increase on average. So I will look at all of this. So this is a good company to buy. But I'm saying this is not a good time to buy it. As in, this is not a good time, this up here. But if it consolidate here and jumped over here, then you may jump, you may get in, but usually you should wait for this consolidation and see what happens. So this will be a better place to start buying, or probably 2 months ago or a month ago. Any question about like the stock is being overextended? But no, last week people began to, most people began to talk about gold, silver, going, as people were excited. So that's what happened all of this area. But this is not a good time for one to join if you have not if you haven't been part of it at this point. But I've started buying when it was 18, 21, somewhere here. So whatever happened last week doesn't affect me because I started buying at this point. Any thought or question about, as in, avoid? Oh,
I mean, sir, those things that you put out are very, very actually on point and I mean, very informative.
okay.
So it should be a very good guide for this week, any dealings that we have this week. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Mm.
All right, so that's the one. Trying to move this guy. Okay. that if you look at the chart, so two things that we look at the fundamental, meaning the statement, the earnings statement, that is how the company are doing financially speaking. That's number one. Then the number two is the chart. You also need to look at the chart. So this shows us that these things already like up here. So if you jump in here, you're likely to be eaten by by a bear. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So the next point is that don't buy or don't base your buying on sentiment only. So another example of what happened last week is Beyond Meat. So there was a rumor when I subscribed to like two, as in Wall Street Journal. So every morning by 8 a.m., it will show up in my email. So I'll read what will happen that day. And so like today, they already sent what will happen next week. The subscription is free. So, but that means at AM when I read it, that's what. Say that again. Somebody else. Okay. It was said that alternative is the new gold. So that's referring to alternative meat, that is meat from a plant. Then now people started jumping into Beyond Meat. So let's see what happened last week to Beyond Meat. So this company doesn't have good fundamental. It's just the buying was just based on sentiment. So let's see what happened last week. Okay, so Beyond Meat. So this is so this Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So on Monday, I've not heard the rumor yet. So like on Wednesday morning, when I open my subscription that I read it, that's when I heard that no, like the alternative is like the new gold. Then within, as I look at my brokerage account, I type in Beyond Meat. But within 1 hour, it jumped from like $3 to seven. No, let's just say 770. That's within 1 hour when I'm still looking at my phone. So that was so, as in that was, what's it called? Do I use the word exciting or surprising? That is, it went from $3 when I opened the phone that I look at it somewhere here. Within 1 hour, it jumped all the way to $7. Now, some people some people bought the stock at 7, but guess what happened? Then within another hour again, the thing dropped from 7 and closed at 3. So this is the closing. This at like 3:58. So the person that heard the rumor or the news that day that like Beyond Meat is like the new go, people are jumping in. So those that bought it that morning and those that bought at like 2 something, they will still make profit. But I'm saying some people will jump in here 5, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 747. But somebody that day will lose 100% of whatever, because if you buy at 7 and the thing ended up at 3 something, That's like you lost. So it traded 100% at the close. It ended up negative. So this is an example of a company that doesn't have good fundamental, but the trading on that day was just based on sentiment only. So those people that bought somewhere here all the way here, they will lose their money that day. And somebody over here lose 100% or whatever. So if they put 1,000 in here, at the end of the day, it's that money will run down to zero here. So that's what could happen in the market. And somebody that day too, but it's not likely. It's not likely that somebody enter here and get out 100%. That's based on my experience. So if people are greedy, you just think that it will continue, you'll be excited, like they tweeting all of your friends to jump in. But before you know it, you can lose all of your gain here. So I'm just saying some people will make profit, but most people will lose the money, will lose by jumping in somewhere here. So let's look at the fundamental of the company. The company income is negative 153. Their earning is still negative. So at this point, this company is not doing well. The trading was just based on noise, what we call meme stock. So as of Friday, this was like 60. Short meaning people that thought the company is going down was like 60. So those people, I mean, that's what they call short squeeze. Like people that shorting it, they started covering their shortage. That's what make it moved. But I'm just saying, if you enter a trade based on sentiment, you are likely to lose your money. So that's what happened. It went all the way 100%, but within 1 hour again, it dropped back to negative. All right, any thought or any question about like avoid jumping in, like buying a stock based on sentiment, not on fundamental that the financial statement of the company is not good, but people still jumping that Wednesday, some people will make money, but probably most people will lose their money. Do we have any question or any thought on that before we move to the next one? All right, so number 1 point, if a company has good fundamental, don't you looking to buy, but don't buy when it's already overextended. Number 2, don't buy a stock based on sentiment. Sentiment means the company doesn't have good fundamental, but because of news, people jumped in. Most of the time, people will lose their money. The last one is uh, okay. We call this one buy the rumor and sell the news. What this means is when people, when people began, when I say began, they began to talk about other an innovation. This example now, we're going to look at quantum computing. Okay, so when like people, let's say the innovation just started, that is like a good time to join in. But when everybody now, like when you go to your barber shop, they tell you the new stock to buy, even though they themselves don't buy it, we say at that point, it is time to sell. Meaning when everybody began to talk about it, usually that stock must have overextended. So let's look at quantum computing, for example. So we say when it's still like a rumor meaning is, what I'm by rumor, most people as not a lot of people know about it yet. But when it become a news, most people know. So if you jump in when it has become a news, you are kind of late to the party. So you are likely to lose your money. That's when it become news, it is time to take profit. So let's look at RGT, for example, RGTI.
A quick interjection, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I think one good example was that GameStop that time, right?
Yes,
Yeah, like
yes.
a lot of people. I came in very late when the people was actually. I mean, people already made the money. So look, I know a lot
Okay.
of things come out like that. That you see and you think like, oh, this is the time to come in, and it might just be too late. So I'm actually a victim of that. Thank you.
Uh, so as in, so quantum computing is like it's, let's say is the future. Future meaning we are entering into it. But you have to look at the chart. Chart meaning how has this thing been trading? How has it been behaving before you jumped in? So last week we talked about quantum computing, as in last Sunday. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Monday. So this is Monday. So this Sunday. Now, when I heard about it, this company was trading as 11. That means somewhere here, $11. I bought like few. Then when it traded to 14, I sold it and get out. But I didn't really believe in their fundamental yet. What I remember by that they are not making money yet. This is negative here. This is their income. So this thing is just based on what is like future expectation of people. So this company is not making money yet. So my advice would be that if you join early enough, then that may be good. Just make sure you get out before, like most people, let's look at the profit they have made. So year to date, they've gone 154. So meaning if you put 1,000 there, you'll make another, 1,500 this year only. But most people, when they get in, it's not likely that these people that began in January that are still holding most of the time. Like me, I bought it 11 when it's 14. I sold it and I just, as in just forget it. That is, I don't believe in the company yet. I just want to join and quickly get out. So when it was 14, I got out of it. But now, but after that, it traded all the way to 50, let's say 58. But my point is, some people join at this point. Some people join at this point. So guess what will happen to them? They have lost about 30% here. So when we have like a new innovation or new thing that is coming up, if you once you hear people talking about it, type the name. If you still have it trading somewhere here, like it's not, like it's not overextended yet, you could join. You don't have to, but if you want to. But when you see something that have gone up this far, that may not be a good time. So that's another example. That's what I'm by being trapped by sentiment. So in this case, this company is not making money yet, but this price is just based on future expectation. So in the future, when the company now being stabilized, that is, they started making money, they becoming profitable. Okay, that may be a good time to buy again. But for me, I'm not gonna buy not this company itself, but all the company under computing for now, I will avoid them. All right, so that's my take for this week. How to avoid being trapped by market sentiment. That is, market sentiment is like people just this is the next Nvidia, this is the next Amazon. If we join in now, some people will make money, but most people will lose out. So we should look at the chart to see how the company or whatever stock they're talking about, how it has traded before you jump in, not just because somebody say it's 60 and you believe that it's still going to 100. Okay, that's just sentiment, not based on like the fundamental. All right, so that's my take for this week. Now we're now opening for question and answer. So, any thought, any question about the week we're going into? Does anybody have question or comment or you thought about this week we're going to?
Oh well, let me just actually put a random question right there.
Okay.
Yeah, with what is going on, what do you think about the future of the EV? Well, with the I know like the gas is the in thing, based on the policy of the current government, but at the same time, some of us are still holding the EV stock. Should we still put in there, or is there anything that you actually think you can share on that?
Or EV that
Yeah, because yeah, personally, I put a lot of money in the EV, and it's I guess stuck in it that I couldn't get out because I just feel that I can recover some of the money. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I'm talking about looking at the chat.
Okay,
Should we
sir.
look at Rivian or Lucid?
Yeah, I mean, Lucy is one of them.
All right,
Yeah.
let's just start with Rivian for now.
Mm.
Okay, so as this is an example of EV apart from Tesla.
Mm.
Now, the expectation before, as in when President,
Biden,
I know before Trump came in, I'm forgetting the name of
Biden,
the
Biden,
okay,
Biden.
okay, yes, okay. Now those people they supported alternative energy
Mm.
more than the new administration. So at that time, alternative energy were going up. But now, as in this administration doesn't support like alternative like the other one. So it's likely that in the nearest future that EV will continue to just consolidate. So I don't have any EV, even Tesla, as in among the Mark 7, I'm not buying Tesla. So they may do well, but no, I'm just okay without buying them. So that will be my take on EV for now. That is, I'm not buying them. In the future, they might still pick up. But it looked like the administration, the current administration is not really supporting them. So it will be jumping up and down by news. When I say news, no, sometimes there's a collaboration between Rivian and as you know, based on the news, but it's likely,
Volkswagen. Yeah.
okay, I'm Volkswagen. So it's
Mm.
likely that they will just be, as in it will just be trading in range. That's just my own take. It's likely.
Okay. Okay.
Until something else happen, no, until either the
Mhm.
administration support it or okay. So if you are holding on to it, you might keep holding, but it just is likely that it's just gonna be trading in this range. That would
Okay.
be my view.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're right. Welcome, son. Any other question or thought?
Okay, coming back to that, sir. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
So now since we talk about the EV, right? Then
Yes.
does that mean like gas is something to actually look at as well in the alternative,
Okay, so
like mobile, all
let's
those kind
look
of
at S
ConocoPhillips? Yeah.
S S O SOM. Okay. So as in usually what I do is there are two way of going about it. What I mean by two way, we could start from micro. Micro meaning you start from a company and move and analyze it to macro, meaning like the general market condition. Or we could start with the general market condition and narrow it down to the company. So in this case, let's start with the general market condition. What I mean by general market condition is S&P has already overextended. It's now 68 as of Friday. So in that case, I mean it could continue to go up, but we are already like at the peak. So it may not be a good time to buy yet, unless one have a reason. But in case of like this particular company itself, one can buy it for the dividend. That is, they've been regular in paying their dividend for the past 20 something years. That's one reason to buy. But another reason is if you think that this administration supporting gas, that is oil and gas, will help. As in you have to have a like a person. When I say partner reason, that is, you have to be able to define the reason you are buying a company. So for me, I have about 3 oil companies. So meaning I bought them as I'm holding them, but for me, I'm holding them for dividend purpose. So for NIG, I'm not buying them because I think they're gonna go up in this current condition, but I'm buying them for dividend.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
None SO not TISO. I have other one that are paying 10%, 7%. So the only reason I'm buying oil is that it's not likely to go down and it may not go up, but I will get paid dividend of like 7-9%. That's why I buy oil.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Any other question? So I buy them for their dividend now, meaning they are not likely to go down here. They are not likely to jump up here, but they're paying good dividend. So I buy oil now for dividend. All right, any other question? We have like 8 more minutes to go. Any other question about what's as in the market or what's likely to happen in the week we are going into?
What's likely to happen, sir? Is it buying or staying on the sideline, or what's your opinion about that? Buying or sideline? Going that knowing that the context of we've already overextended.
And it depends. So the general market, when I say general S&P, if you are just buying little by little, that is okay. That is, no, you just buying $500, $200, 1,000, not 10,000 or 100,000. Okay, so that is okay, meaning you are just what we call cost averaging. You just buying little by little. But when it comes to specific sector, so for technology, going to this week, I said I will. Let me just say I may. That's Amazon I wanted to say. That still, if I have money to buy, I will still buy Amazon before Thursday. Then, yeah, if that's if I have money, I will still buy oil and for dividend, then real estate for dividend. So for me, real estate for dividend, not because I think they will go up. Oil and gas for dividend, but I may buy Amazon for growth. But I will stop buying gold for now. I bought it, I'm not selling. I will be holding gold. I'm not gonna keep buying. So that's my own take that real estate, oil company for dividend, not because they know they may go up, they may go down, but I'll buy them for dividend. Then Amazon is the only company that I will no depends on what the price is. It was 225 on Friday, so now if it's 230 already, I will stop buying. But if it's still 220 something, I may likely buy it tomorrow. All right. Is that good enough?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome, sir. So Amazon is still, let's quickly look at the
The
price.
video is on. It's open though. It's that thing gapped up already. I mean,
And
market's
Nvidia
open.
already,
Pre-market. That thing is gapped up already, sir.
Nvidia.
Nvidia, yes.
Okay, so Amazon is now 226.93. And I can still buy it before it gets to 230. So Nvidia already jumped last week to 180 something. Let's see.
189 now. A pre-market.
Okay. All right, it's
43.
189.43.
Yeah.
And for me, it would have been better last week. All right. So the market is likely to continue to go up this week, but it will have been a good idea for one to be in the stock already, not like just buying them now. I'm talking about growth, the growth stock. They are likely to continue to go up this week, but I apply what I call margin of safety. So meaning if they have gone up already, which is what we just talked about, if they are good company, but if they have overextended, I just stay away from them for now. All right, so that's my take that Amazon is still good. Real estate for dividend, oil and gas for dividend. That will be what I will be doing this week if I have money to buy. All right, do we have any other question? So if there's no other question, I want to thank everyone for coming. As in, it's encouraging to have you join me to look at insight about the stock market. So every Sunday, 8 p.m., we'll be here by God's grace to share what's going on in the market and what's likely as a sector or stock that will be profitable in the coming week. So thank you all for coming. So I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.